third place. Obviously a bittersweet feeling for different reasons. Starting from pole and finishing third is disappointing, but on the other hand, we maximized our car today. And then at the same time, obviously, it was the worst possible race to have the collision with Checo in the start. But as I've said many times, I couldn't do anything. I had Max on the right. I think Checo wasn't aware of that and started turning in, and then we crashed.
This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle, and Pat. Let's get into it.
And that is a lovely intro by Pat. Welcome back to Paddock 43. Hola, amigos.
Hola, amigos.
That's all I know. Gracias.
Yo puedo hablar todo el capítulo en español.
Ay, caramba.
That's what I said this morning. Turn one.
Yeah, turn one. I think that hurt everyone's souls. It hurt my soul. Fuck. But
we'll get there.
We were back at a normal race weekend. Thank God.
The 7 a.m. start time was...
You didn't like it, did you?
No,
wasn't ideal for us.
It's not ideal when you need to be at work at like 8:30.
Yeah.
And obviously we had a red flag in between.
Which
so
made
that
it
sort
even
of like
harder.
It delayed things a little bit, but
yeah.
No. And it doesn't help also when I was feeling really sick. So
yeah, Elle's a bit under the weather today.
So I'm here.
We don't know
what
she
made
happened to
it,
her, but she's here.
She's here, thank goodness.
I don't think though, and I'm really sorry to disappoint you both because I know that you guys are really invested in my little segment. But
we don't have a
I'm so
segment.
sad we're not getting jokes today.
I know. Oh God.
You loved them.
If only I had like a bottle of tequila right now, I'd be like glug, glug, glug.
Glug,
You
glug,
loved
glug.
them, Pat. I watch back those videos and you're sitting there going,
They were quite funny. The last one was my favourite.
Yeah, that was good.
I can't remember what it was.
I also feel like I get in competition with myself. I'm like, I need to answer this.
I know. Like, what is it?
there was definitely concentration on both your faces. Watching back on the video. But yeah, no segment from me this week. Sorry. I didn't prepare as properly as I should have.
That's okay.
It happens.
That's fine.
It's all right.
All I've prepared is wearing my Enchante jumper.
That's
Freshly
beautiful.
cleaned.
You two are lovely in neutrals. And I'm in red frills because
Ole.
Is that for, it's very Red Bull colouring. I'm going for Danny because he was finally in the points.
colouring.
You got the blue and the red.
Oh, true.
Red Bull.
Double denim.
And then you're white. Kidding. Amy's been saying that she's really pale at the moment.
I actually just fake tan, so this is me fake tan. This is like
You don't
ultra
look
dark.
white. You don't
This is-
look white.
No, you should have seen me this morning. I kid you not, I was the colour of your jumpers.
I was saying I'm giving Steve Jobs / Ted Bundy vibes today.
It's a combination that you want to be every weekend.
Sorry, but it's like raining so much. So I was like, bring the turtlenecks back out.
Oh, I've got something to add to your wardrobe.
Ooh, we like this.
What could it be?
Shout out to Johnny Wall from BWT. So if you don't know,
Oh,
ruffling.
it's pink.
right, it is a very pink. So I'm going to start off with.
Oh, it's Christmas.
So
BWT bottle. Change the
God,
world.
Awesome.
Oh, excuse me. We've got a hiccup over here. So BWT is one of Alpine's sponsors, and they have sent us some merch, which is very fun.
Oh, this is so nice. Best water.
I love
technology.
it.
For anyone
Oh.
playing along at home, which I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know this, BWT stands for Best Water Technology.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first started watching F1, I was like, what is BWT?
And now
You learn that it's...
we've got more. Hang on.
Oh my God, we have hats.
We've got hats, sun protection, sun protection.
Sun
Oh,
protection
these are
in
cute.
Melbourne.
Are these flat caps?
They are.
Oh my God, this is
Ah.
like Max Verstappen vibes, but not Max Verstappen because, you know, we all know Max loves a
We
flat
all have
hat.
to wear the hat.
It's not staying.
I feel like the headphones won't fit underneath it. Oh, and there's one more present from Johnny.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Also,
Thanks,
have a little
Johnny.
backpack.
I can't.
A water filter.
Yes,
amazing.
It's just staying away. And I'm like, ugh.
Anyway, thanks, Johnny.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank you, Johnny. How exciting.
we very much appreciate.
Sorry.
I know. I was just going to say you're just going to hear that. Really
Oh,
loud.
it's a bag. I thought
Yeah.
it was a I thought it was a top. Oh and put it on. I was like, yes.
It's a bag to put our new hat and water bottle in.
So
Oh my God,
we
it's
very much appreciate receiving this as
do.
a little Paddock 43 gift here.
Yes.
Just nice to, see people out there supporting us, and also because we have some exciting news.
Yes, we do have some very exciting
very
news.
exciting
Who
news.
wants?
You go, Amy. You
No,
go.
you guys go.
You go.
Do we say it all at once?
Okay. 1, 2,
2,
3.
We
got
sponsored by
Veloce. Reggaeton horn.
Your
Yeah.
Paddock 43 girls now has
Management.
managers.
Yeah,
Management.
We have been
management.
signed, sealed, delivered.
So
Super exciting.
anyone in the UK, global, please reach out to.
Veloce.
Veloce.
Or for us. So just for context, Veloce is a gaming and sports media company. They
Yes.
also participate in the physical racing as well as the e-racing.
They do a lot of merch as well. They do
F1
Lando
content.
Norris's
Lando Norris's
merch.
merch.
So
Quadrant.
you might see us with some Paddock 43 merch.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
but it's
it.
very exciting, Veloce. We're so excited.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yes.
It's nice to have our own news.
Yeah.
I
We're always
'cause
talking about
We're
your
talking
news.
about everyone else's
we're,
news.
yeah, we're about to dive into like the news that's just happened over the last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually have our own news.
Our own
Anyway,
Which is
so
fun.
that's our own news.
That's our news.
Woo.
And let's get into the other news.
Alrighty. I kind of wanted to start off. I know that this happened last week, but a lot of information came out about this week, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the plank issue.
Walk the plank.
Are you talking about like planking trend? Like
Yeah.
remember when you used to
Oh my
lie
God,
on
do you
things
remember
as a
that?
plank?
Wait, what was the planking
Wow.
trend?
Do you remember that when people used to go around and like lie on things and plank? So
Oh.
we'd
Just
be
like
like 3, 2,
horizontal
1,
lying
plank, and then like just lie across the table and plank.
Oh yeah.
That's clearly not the planking that she's talking
No.
about.
No.
Okay.
Oh my
No,
God.
We're back in.
that is
okay.
not the planking I'm talking about. I'm talking
Unfortunately.
about the little disqualification we saw last week with Max, not Max. Actually went Max Verstappen.
Can you imagine if Max
That would've
got
been-
That would have
disqualified?
been,
Fabulous.
oh, it wouldn't happen, but imagine if it did. No, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. So,
44-16.
deuces. Deuces. Yeah. So, no, I thought it was interesting because I actually didn't completely understand it until they spoke about it this week. But basically, underneath every car, we see the plank.
Mhm.
Well, we don't see it, but we hear about this plank.
You see it when the car flips.
Yeah, we see it when the car flips. And they keep saying, a car that is so technologically advanced, yet they rely on this like wooden board underneath.
Yeah.
But basically the board has a plank, has a metal skid block underneath it. And it starts off at 10 millimeters and can only have 1 millimeter of wear. So it can, when they come around and measure it, it can't be under 9 millimeters, which is what happened with Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Now, what I found interesting was I saw an interview with Lewis.
Max.
Literally, I want to say Max. With Lewis. And he was not happy. And he was saying that apparently, which kind of got me into overdrive, he was saying that apparently only a few cars were tested, and of the cars that were tested, 50% of the cars were disqualified, meaning only 4 cars were tested. And then I kind of delved more into this. Apparently it can take, the whole reason why they can't test all the cars is because it can be like a 5-hour task. So there's like not enough manpower for this. Leclerc, on the other hand, he was a bit more like, oh, well, these are the rules, this is what happens. And the thing as well, which I find interesting, is, okay, you can only have 1 millimeter of wear. But then Lewis was saying, if you drive really hard, you have the potential of like wearing the skid block more. So he seemed a bit like suspicious about it. And then it got me thinking, and maybe this is a bit conspiracy theory of me, but I also felt very suspicious about it. And I remember last week when we were talking about the FIA wanting Checo to come second.
Yeah. Oh.
That's my theory.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's not really news. That's half news / half.
That goes in the conspiracy theory
Really?
of Checo coming second, because I don't think that anymore.
I don't think that anymore. Well, I think there's only so much the FIA can control.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, if that were the
The
case.
FIA or F1 Liberty?
I think FIA.
I think F1. Oh.
Unless they're in cahoots.
Because an FIA are the ones
Oh,
that are
I'm just
making all
gonna
the
say
shots.
it now.
Yeah,
If I
say it now.
Okay.
Say it now.
I mean, if you're living under a rock about what has happened, it was Checo's home race, and Checo obviously was gone in the first lap. And
First corner.
very, yeah, sorry. I was trying to be kind to him,
Tragic.
give him a few more corners. And the broadcast was saying everyone's leaving because it was Checo's home race. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
a big deal. Everyone wanted to see how Checo was going to perform after everything. By the way, this is really weird sitting just
I know, this is tripping me out.
I don't know where to look.
If you're not watching this, Elle's sitting next to me this time.
Yeah.
Normally it's Elle and Pat, and now I'm looking at Elle and I'm
Just
like,
to change things
very
up
confused.
today.
Anyway, so my
kink in
thinking,
my neck.
so the broadcasts were like,
Welcome to my shoes. And I have to look up as well.
the broadcasts were saying all the fans are leaving, everyone's getting up to leave, blah, blah, blah. Everyone was booing Charles, and we can get into that later.
Yeah.
But then, and the broadcasts were saying they're all leaving.
Yeah.
And so they don't care. They're like, oh, yeah, they're going. Like the F1 needs Checo because all the fans are leaving, which was a big thing to call that and say that.
Yeah.
But then Max was on in all his interviews. He's like, they didn't leave. They're all there supporting us because he obviously has to say. So I just think there's
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the F1's like, you know, they want to keep it for the fan base.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think as well.
does-
Yeah.
I was going to say as well, I'm pretty sure I think it's Red Bull's merch, Checo alone sells like, I think it's over half of.
Oh,
So the
really?
merch,
The
yeah.
F1 needs him.
Yeah, he has such a big fan base.
Yeah.
They'd probably lose so
He
much
does have a
money if
huge
he
fan
left.
base. Yeah. Well, I did notice as well afterwards, and again, we will get into it, but Christian Horner, I noticed Christian Horner was like kind of said something to him and like kind of consoled him, and I was trying to figure out
Oh, yeah, I
if
saw
I
that.
could lip read.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I wonder if he was sort of saying like, don't worry, ignore the rumors or something. Like you're not going anywhere.
You never know.
Because that also kind of comes back to what we've said about hypothetically if like Danny Ricciardo were to take that seat, but then Red Bull makes a lot of money from that merch that is sold to Checo. So like, is it more beneficial having Checo in that seat than Danny Rick?
I think from a commercial standpoint. Mm-hmm.
But like Danny brings in a lot, but I feel like Checo would bring in more. Like if you look at our audience, like it's basically more just the Australia, New Zealand audience that Danny brings in.
But
Checo brings in a whole nother like
I don't even know if Red Bull needs it commercially. I think it's F1 that needs it commercially. I think Red Bull's got enough buzz about them to bring in the money, and they've got Max, and they're winning the team championships and all of that sort of stuff. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to play out how that all unfolds.
Yeah. But anyway, circling back, I'm kind of like, hopefully
nice little detour.
hopefully that was just, I mean, I like to think like, I mean, there's politics in everything, but I hope it's not a politics thing. I hope it's really just fair racing, and it just was a crappy fluke that they tested Charles and Hamilton. But Hamilton was like, they could have tested everyone, and majority of the drivers would have had the same issue.
But also like in that respect, it's very much like any other track and field, for example. You get drug tested.
Yeah.
But not everyone gets drug
Drug
tested
tested.
because that can take hours. It can take so long.
And the
So I
cost
feel like
as
it's just
well.
kind of like a similar sort of thing. You just have random. You get picked at
I'm
random.
pretty sure they always have to check the top six.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, if they're always checking the top six, they should know that.
It makes sense.
And if you're gunning for the top six, then behave.
Yeah.
Wait, so 4 cars get tested, but they have to check the top 6.
Yeah.
Why not just do 2 more? Like, what's 2 more gonna do? Just check everyone.
They probably
Money,
found
money,
2 and then they were like,
money.
anyway, yeah, probably.
But I
can't
do
change
think
that.
as well, if you're like driving too hard, and what if you constantly ended up in the gravel?
Also, the other thing I found, there was actually quite a lot of people in Mexico watching practice.
So many people.
I feel like it's the only other place other than Australia where it's full for practice.
I was actually thinking, I think it would be such an amazing Grand Prix to go to. Mexico GP, well done. They put on an incredible show.
Also, the other thing I wanted to talk about, talking about like fanfare and stuff. Did you see the Twitter video of the Red Bull fan that attacked 2 Ferrari fans?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I
that
saw
just
this, but didn't
just after.
watch it.
And then it got taken down because I went to find the article later on and I was like, it's not there anymore.
What?
But I think the video is still on Twitter, but it was this Red Bull fan that just after,
Yeah,
it
in
must
the
have been
stands,
like,
in the
in
grandstand.
the grandstands, it must have been just after Checo retired or just after the crash. You see him start laying into these two guys, which were clearly Ferrari fans. They had red shirts on. And then all of a sudden, it looked like another Red Bull supporter came up and like put him in a headlock.
Oh.
And like held him down or something. And then this guy's apparently got like a ban for life in F1 now.
Oh.
But I was like, it's
People-
really sad
need
that
to calm
these
down.
things are still happening.
Yeah.
Like it's like even when like here
Yeah.
at the soccer, do you remember when that like all those fans at the soccer got so angry and they
Oh
like
my gosh, yes.
jumped onto the pit,
Yeah.
onto,
Oh,
that's right,
onto the
yep.
field?
Yes.
Like why can't
Fans can
sporting
get
fans
angry.
like contain their
Yeah.
rage?
Especially when like all the drivers like would have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We don't stand with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's really
crazy.
poor. The poor fans like around it just trying to like enjoy a race.
Yeah.
There's this rogue guy laying into another fan.
Anyway, any other news?
Other news: ASAP Rocky signing on as Puma's F1 creative director.
Isn't it funny? Last week we shut our computers, having our little debrief,
Yeah, and then you said,
And then we were like,
oh,
oh,
yeah,
so we can bring it back
Wait a
this
sec.
week.
we can talk about it. So he's set to do like capsule collections.
Mm.
I feel like the way he's going to take it is just going to be so much fun,
I love it.
and people are actually going to want to buy F1 merch.
I can't
Yeah.
remember the last
Oh my
time I
God,
bought anything
please.
from Puma as well.
Really?
So
I've
that's
actually never
gonna-
bought
I wonder
anything
if-
from Puma.
I wonder
My
if that's
friend
going to
works
change
there.
anything.
Yeah, yeah. So
My friend works there, so I bought like my soccer boots from there. That's as far
I
as
feel like with the way that F1 is going with like the fan base and everything like that, being a lot more female, it's not a bad idea.
They do need to have something a bit more, creative and out there and
Not
fun.
gross.
Not cringe. But it said that his collection is set to drop later this year. But by 2025, he wants to be like kind of have like full creative direction, I guess, kind of take over everything.
Like
Imagine-
with this F1
Yeah.
Puma collab.
Yeah, F1 Puma collab.
Oh.
So he does the capsules, and then by 2025, he wants to have like full control.
Oh
Can
wow.
I just ask, what am I missing? Since when has Puma partnered with F1?
I think they've been. I know that they've. I think
They've always kind of been a partner. Like they are smaller sponsors within teams. Kind of like, I'm pretty sure it was actually Bottas that did the Puma thing this year in Melbourne. The F1 Grand Prix. Well, F1, duh, of course it's the F1 Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Dipshit. Apparently ASAP Rocky was like, so he summed it up and said, working with brands as iconic as Puma and as innovative as Formula One has truly been inspiring. When the world sees what we're doing, a shift will happen in how brands approach taking risks and working with diverse creatives. So
nice.
think
Yeah,
it's exciting.
I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna bring some nice, fresh fun take.
Yeah.
Fresh on take.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I wonder how.
It's all a bit daggy at the moment. It
It's
needs
so
needs a
daggy.
little
Oh my god, the
revamp.
shirt that I have, I don't know why I bought it.
It becomes like a bedtime shirt.
Yeah, literally. And I was like, it's a polo. I'll wear it when I play golf.
Especially when you compare it to like Enchante merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I feel like
If
it's
you've
going to
got-
give like Enchante, but better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Danny.
But cooler. But
Love you.
cooler.
Keep it
But
away from your
cooler.
coffee, Al.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because then as well, you never know like how this is going to end up.
Watch your space.
What else has been
One
happening
more
around
thing.
the tracks? Oh.
Ooh.
Andretti. Going back to Andretti. So they're facing more resistance. So they, you know how they passed FIA requirements?
Mm.
The F1 is still so on the fence about it. They apparently want to partner with, like, have General Motors come in,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want Andretti. But then,
Okay.
I'm like, okie dokie. So I think it's personal,
Mm.
which is interesting.
Definitely
and then
sounds personal.
when I read this article, it did say this week, but they said that they were so committed to joining F1, they spent millions of dollars building a car and tested it at a wind tunnel in Germany.
Wow.
So before they've even been approved, they're like, let's
They're
build
eager.
a car.
That's
Build
what
a
we
car and
call.
test it.
That's what we call the art of manifestation.
Yeah.
They're
Literally.
they're manifesting.
Yeah,
it.
so they attended the US Grand Prix to generate interest in the 2025 entry.
Mm-hmm.
And when they hoped to engage with the F1 president, he was unresponsive. Stefano Domenicali
Oh,
apparently was
Domenicali.
unresponsive. I was like, oh, these poor guys are just, they're really
Where
trying
does
their
the
hardest.
beef come from? That's what I want to know.
I know. And then they were saying, like, on paper, F1 is the healthiest it's ever been.
Mm.
And the budget cap has seen the likes of like Mercedes and Red Bull go from spending 400 million to 100 million.
Wow.
But I find it amazing that they can drop it that much but still produce a faster car.
I know, it's crazy. crazy,
How does
crazy.
that work?
I don't know.
Wait, 100 million, 150 million, sorry. But then teams are complaining about prize money. Reduce slice at the pie.
The reduced slice.
I don't think they have to worry about that.
You don't?
No.
As in
No.
the,
Like the-
prize money?
Yeah,
But the principals are worried, and all the team members are worried, just not the drivers.
it's not really like their salaries are getting slashed.
Yeah.
Because their salaries are obviously outside that.
Yeah, they're all
Mm.
just involved. Like, they just want the money.
Maybe they're
Like,
just being a bit greedy.
I kind of
Yeah.
feel like it's just that
Mm.
it's an exclusivity thing as well. Like this is
You
like
can't sit with us.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally
Like
that.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Georgina.
It's literally that. It's
Georgina? Is that
Yeah,
her name?
yeah.
Regina.
Regina, Regina George from Mean Girls.
Charles like, that sounds so wrong.
Yeah, they are. They're like being
sake.
Regina George
is flawless.
at the.
That is the one time I try and reference.
She has 2 Fendi purses. What is it? I hear she does car commercials.
This is why I
in
don't
Japan.
reference movies.
Regina George drives a silver Lexus.
Sweating.
Regina George once punched me in the face. It was awesome.
You know what everybody says about you.
I feel
You're
like
home-
that's.
They
Homeschool
said you're a
jungle
jungle freak who's the less hot version of me.
Anyway,
You
feel
can
like-
take that fake apology and shove it right up your hairy ass.
I feel like Toto Wolff and Christian Horner are like the perfect contenders for this.
oh my god, yeah. That
Just the
would be
both
so
of them.
funny.
Yeah. Toto is Regina.
But apparently as well, yeah, Andretti have the option to take legal action if they don't accept their entry.
I guess that means that they've been promised something
Yeah, under the
That's
table
what
deal.
would be a bit
Yeah.
of an.
because they can't take legal action if
Yeah,
they
they
haven't
can't
been
really-
promised something.
Yeah, there would be some sort of contract in place. If it's just other people contesting it,
Mm.
it's like saying at work, "Oh, we're adding some extra people into the team," and you're like, "No,
No.
because then that reduces me getting like a promotion or a salary increase or something like that because the salary's going to them." Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know,
It's
what I mean?
silly.
It's
No.
silly.
And just like a random side note before we get into it, George Russell is the lowest scoring Mercedes second driver in history.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Apparently
Really?
so, yeah.
I feel like the back end of his season hasn't been great.
Yeah. Not been good. I mean, obviously, yeah, the
Poor
point
guy.
systems are different, but I think if you like average it out,
Mm.
it's he's the lowest scoring. And the
I
next
just-
was Valtteri in 2020 with 223 points.
Oh, that was.
And they only had 17 races, and George has scored less with 23 races.
George has had some bad luck this season.
There's a few drivers
has?
with a lot of bad luck.
Yeah. George has had some bad luck.
Yeah.
But just really quickly, Marta Garcia.
Oh, yes.
So she has earned a fully funded seat in the FRECA Junior Series for the 2024 season. So the FRECA Junior Series is the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. It sits between F4 and F3 on the motorsport ladder. So that's really exciting. So she was the first title winner of the F1 Academy. I think we spoke about this
Yeah.
last week.
Hmm.
So go Marta.
My question is, how many teams fully fund drivers?
For which part?
Marta.
Marta? Did I do it? Marta?
Yeah.
Well, so in the F1 Academy next year, each team that is currently in F1 will have to have sponsor a full team. So,
As in, like,
They-
sponsoring is a specific driver.
yeah,
Like what they
yeah, give
like
them a
what Frecker have
fully
done.
funded seat.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Bianca's got a fully funded seat.
Yeah.
I like how
next
McLaren
year.
got in there nice and early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they
Like,
I
also,
reckon
like
they've
Bianca.
just started it now. The ball,
but they also got in with the most like
Yeah.
she's smart
Yeah.
and she's good, but they also got in with the most marketable one as well. I mean, she's in vogue all around
Yeah.
the world
Yeah.
lately. Like,
She's stunning.
so she's kicking
Full
goals.
package.
Oh yeah, they got it good.
Yeah, they got it good.
I would like to be on that marketing team. That's for sure. Just making those decisions.
Elle could be on anyone's
wink,
marketing
wink,
team.
McLaren.
But before we get into qualifying, I thought we should quickly touch on the 5 rookie drivers. I don't know why. Why did they just decide?
End of the
Everyone
season,
was
they gotta
like,
have someone.
let's just
Yeah, I think there's like a few.
They had to have 3 Aussies on the
because they're
grid.
not going to do it in Brazil because Brazil's such a fun track.
Yeah, I was
They're gonna do it
actually
in Abu Dhabi.
I was actually thinking it's really good, and I think this is the reason why they did it in Mexico as well, is because it's such a tough track, highest altitude. Obviously, it's it's not something the drivers are used to. So I think it's a really good track to put a rookie on so they can get that feel of
That's a
track.
good point. It's like I
Yeah.
was actually listening to the Sky F1 podcast and they had Jack Doohan on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how Mexico, kind of like what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
but being in the sim, it's always like perfect conditions. Like it's
Yeah.
perfect. And then you go out in Mexico and it's like dusty and it's bumpy and it's windy and it's
Yeah.
just all the elements are there.
But even
Yeah.
I think as just on a human level, like if we're at sea level, we have 100% oxygen, right? Yeah, we're here. We're at sea
Yay.
level, 100% oxygen. But in Ciudad de Mexico, you only have 75% of oxygen.
This is 75%.
Yeah, which doesn't sound like that much of a difference, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in an F1 car.
Exactly.
G-force behind you. Crazy speeds.
Yeah.
Hot as well.
It's a lot. So
Yeah, the altitude training they would do for that.
I mean, when I lived in Bogota in Colombia, it's a little bit higher than Ciudad de Mexico. And every time you would, like our university, the gym was up a hill. Every time you would get so puffed and you'd be like,
Why would they put the gym at the top of the hill?
well, it was kind of,
It's extra training.
yeah, extra training.
I'm
You
so
think like,
lazy.
I'm fit. I can, what is wrong with me? And it's not you. It's the altitude.
At least that's the warm up, I guess, to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
have to warm
Yeah,
up.
you would.
Yeah.
You'd get there and you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's great for the rookies.
Wow.
So
What's
who were
gonna go
who were the rookies? Who did we have?
So we've had 5 of them. So we had Ollie Behrman,
Mhm.
18-year-old British. He was driving for Haas,
Mhm.
finished P15. They said they were very impressed.
Nice.
Were you impressed?
I
Yeah.
think so.
I was impressed
You
by
think
all
so?
of
Yeah, I
them.
think they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Now this is a French name, which I just know I'm not going to be able to pronounce, but we'll give it a hot crack. Isaac Hajar.
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 Yeah.
Silent D.
I don't
Hajar.
think I don't think it's a French name though, but surname.
Is it like me saying Audi?
He's
Audi
French,
again?
but
He's
I
French
don't know if
anyway.
it's a
So he
French
was
name.
driving for AlphaTauri,
Mhm.
P17. Jack Doohan, obviously, Aussie prospect, coming on up.
Imagine 3
Sorry,
Aussies.
I think they said that the last time there was 3 Aussies on the track was in 1975.
That's so cool. I was
Yeah.
wondering when the last time the
Yeah.
3 Aussies were out
I
there.
was
That's
like,
so fun.
Ooh.
So Jack's been obviously
Nice.
doing really well in his F2 career. He's been absolutely slaying the game.
What did he come?
He came P18, so obviously did not slay the game.
He did not slay that
of,
day.
I take
Sorry.
that back. Except,
Do not
hey,
slay that.
he was driving for Alpine for a bit of BWT
Yeah.
action. That's
He had
who we
that
are.
That pink fire behind him.
Yep, and then we had Frederick Vesti, 21-year-old Danish driver who was driving for Mercedes,
Mhm.
and then Thea Porchette, 20-year-old French driver, Alfa Romeo. So he finished P20. So
He had a few issues.
yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know, he didn't
I
actually
heard him.
get
on
a.
radio.
I don't
Yeah,
think he
he-
got an actual time, did
No,
he?
did he actually get an actual lap?
I don't think so.
I don't think he actually got a full lap
No.
in either. He didn't get
No.
anything. The
It's
poor-
it's so funny
poor
because
guy.
I felt like when they were out there, I was like, oh, so cute. But
I know.
you kind of think like they have absolutely no idea, but obviously they
do so much.
they do
simulator
so
work.
much work.
Yeah.
So it's like for them, it's just something normal for them.
Yeah.
But
It
for
is
us, we're
funny. Like
"Oh,
I listened to
the
our
babies are out.
mini episode the other day on reserve drivers
Mhm.
recently. I was like, I just need to feel like I need to refresh my knowledge for some reason.
That's what they're there for.
And it was actually so good listening to that, understanding more about what they do. So anyone out there that doesn't know,
Yeah, that's a good one, Al.
there's your little.
It's a good one to listen to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually a really good episode. I was
Yeah.
like, who are these bitches speaking? And I was like, oh wait, it's us.
It's me.
It's funny. I feel like the more you go back, the more you're like, oh, so that's what
Yeah,
you kind of like relearn their own
exactly.
things that you're saying.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's
I was
fun.
proud of us.
I'm
Yeah.
proud of us too. Kind of circling back, I've said that already before. But the whole reason we ask, so the air gets thinner when you're higher, right? Air gets thinner, which means, what does it mean? It means there's less downforce. So there is less traction. So corners need to be taken slower because obviously there's more
Is that why I fall all the time?
potentially.
It's probably.
Yep.
Well, I always get head spins when I stand up. I'm
Same.
like, oh,
I always,
guy.
I always get head spins, and I'm like, it's not my iron. I'm fine. It's just because
I'm just too tall.
it's just because we're 6'2".
Yeah,
That we-
I think that's what it
I'm
is.
6'4".
No, but technically corners need to be taken slower because there's more chance of potentially losing control, spinning out,
Yeah.
skidding, all of
Yeah.
that. So the cars are adjusted to this. But I think that's why it's good that the little rookies got out there and got to try it.
Mm.
And the other thing as well is DRS zones don't work as well when you're that high up.
Yeah. I think there's quite a few things that don't work as well.
Yeah.
Because the turbo has to work so much harder as well.
Yeah.
And then there's like the cooling issue.
Well, with also half the grid, their contract's up next summer as well. Maybe some of these guys will also be racing.
Potentially.
So they need to get
The
used to
car's
it now.
top speed is actually the highest in Mexico.
Yeah.
Because there is less
Super
downforce.
fast.
So pros and cons.
Super fast.
Pros and cons.
Qualifying. Mexico qualifying was a little bit spicy, a little bit boring, but a lot of things also happened.
A lot happened.
But yeah. I mean, the Q1 knocked out. We had Ocon, Magnussen, Stroll, Sargent, and Lando Norris.
Oh, Lando. What
Oh.
happened with Lando?
Do you know what was sad as well is like during the coverage, the Sky News team did a bit of a deep dive and they got to spend a lot of time with McLaren at Austin GP.
Oh my God, yeah, I was watching that. There was so much going on. Also, oh my God, that was one thing that happened. When I was watching that, Lando was talking about Oscar and he was like, yeah, he's so much more like relaxed and cool than my last teammate. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you talking shit on Danny?
No, he's talking about Carlos.
Was it Carlos or Danny?
Carlos. I reckon
Was it
he's
Carlos?
Are you sure?
It
But he
wouldn't
just
be
said his
Danny.
last teammate. So I was like, it was either
Ah.
Carlos, but then it could have been Danny. And it's like maybe
But
Danny has like
also-
another side to him.
I feel like Oscar's got such a relaxed
Yeah.
personality. Like McLaren's been putting up all these like funny videos of Oscar and Lando lately.
Yeah.
Doing
I
like
really-
they were
I'm
guessing
enjoying
like
them.
Taylor Swift songs or something the other day,
Yeah.
which was just really random. But Lando is like the one that gets really into it,
Yeah.
and he's got like such a dominant personality. And
Yeah.
Oscar's like, you know, he's just a bit more chill. He's just like
Yeah.
quiet. He's just sitting
Oscar's
there.
like,
So I feel like
meh.
maybe that's what that's referring to.
Yeah,
because
maybe. I feel
Lando
like-
and Danny are very similar personalities.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, and then I feel like Carlos would be very
Serious.
oh,
Right in
like
the ears there.
macho.
I thought maybe he was talking about Danny. I thought he was talking about Carlos because of their little bromance. So he was kind of like
Oh,
trying
I
to give
immediately,
him
I immediately
shit.
thought Danny, and then I was like, what if there's like a side of Danny that no one actually knows?
I feel like
but
Lando gives shit about everything as well.
Yeah.
He's always
True.
got such dry humor that sometimes you don't even know if it's
Yeah,
like real.
he's
So
just he's making a joke.
grain of salt there.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to mention something that I noticed as well.
Mm-hmm.
I turn on the practice one first coverage of the weekend. And usually when it's a race weekend, when there's a driver from that country, you know, whenever it's, I mean, now we've got Oscar, but whenever we'd go into a race weekend and Danny Ricciardo was here in Melbourne, the hype that would go around him, and rightfully so, it's his home race. The first thing that I saw was the biggest hype about Max Verstappen and his 50 wins. So much hype. And then eventually they mentioned Checo. And I was like, oh,
Just give him a.
I don't love that.
I wonder if that's because we're watching on the British broadcast,
But
because that's what we watch. But like if you're over there in
Yeah, if you're
Mexico
watching the
City,
Mexican
Oh my
local
gosh,
time,
no.
it would be all of that.
Yeah.
I
That's
reckon it's the
true.
broadcast.
yeah, that's true.
It's so
that is
subjective
true. It is
to
very subjective. But
British times and
But like every race weekend when we're in a driver's home race, they do a bit more of a hype around that driver. And they did do a bit of a hype around Checo. But I just thought it was interesting that's what they led with.
But the Raw when Checo came out in Q1,
Ooh,
I was like, oh, damn.
his fans are behind him.
yeah, well,
country's
apparently half of
behind
them
him.
left. So
Oh.
okay,
Aw.
so what happened with Lando in Q1? So I actually missed qualifying. So just full disclosure to everyone out there, if anyone's interested. So tell me.
It was kind of a combination of bad driving and bad luck.
Yeah. He made an error and then
Got caught behind traffic.
beat
You know,
himself up
Dave.
about it again.
Mm.
That boy needs to.
Do some affirmations.
Oh, he does.
It doesn't seem like he's been doing his affirmations.
Yeah, because the.
Oh well, I feel like he did when he raced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually,
They
yeah.
came back.
He
They
came
came back.
back.
for that one
He
for
was-
sure.
He was road runner. He was like,
yeah, we can say this. So Charles Leclerc got pole, and he has claimed a new title.
Mm.
What is that title?
11 poles.
11th consecutive pole position, not one.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
not
Is
one.
that
He's
what
been
the
on
stat
pole
is?
11 times
Times.
and hasn't won.
Oh.
You don't want
That's
that.
the thing when everyone was so, I know, just totally skipped Q2, but nothing really happened. Alex Albon had his lap deleted. Joe was into Q3. Anyway,
Yep.
moving on. That was about it. How everyone got so excited about Charles on pole and Carlos front row, Ferrari lockout.
Ferrari
and I was like,
lockout.
I swear every time they are on pole or on the front row, they're like, I don't know why. They don't know why. And it's like, if you don't know why, then how do you expect to execute that in the
that's
race?
so true.
They just fluke it. And I was like, no, something's going to happen. And then, yeah, we
I
saw
felt
in
like
the
the
race.
hype around them being on pole was not as prevalent this weekend.
This is probably
Online as well.
why.
Yeah.
No one wanted to talk about it. Just keep it under wraps.
Everyone's like,
Yeah.
we're just all going to shut up.
It looked good, the Ferrari front row.
Mm.
I was happy.
Well, it looked even better from position 4 for me.
Oh.
Daniel Ricciardo.
What
He-
a solid effort.
Insane.
Like, completely unexpected.
No,
He almost
did not
outqualified
expect
Max
that.
as well.
yeah.
Mm.
So proud of him.
It was just, I'm still speechless about it. And I know a lot of Aussies wanted to tune in to see how Danny went. And then, I mean, I was telling you girls, my dad, granted, he was like, oh, I got up at 4 a.m. and I was trying to work out how to turn on, the F1 because I wanted
Dad,
to
it
watch
wasn't on.
Daniel Ricciardo go. And I was like, Dad, it was at 7 a.m. And he was like, oh, I was asleep back. I was just like, I was like,
Right,
Yeah.
different times.
no wonder that you missed it. But so good to see, like, Danny.
That was
Being
his
in that
third race
top
of the
end.
season.
I know.
And
Mm.
he, Did-
Insane.
yeah.
Maybe the AlphaTauri car just isn't as bad as what we think. And it's just the
Maybe.
drivers that have been in it.
It's just Yuki and
Well,
Liam.
I think we saw that with Liam Lawson in it. For
Yeah.
sure, because Nick was still right
Nick
down.
couldn't do anything.
No, he couldn't
Yuki's
do it.
done like not that much.
But I also don't think anyone was challenging Yuki, and Yuki's all of a
Yeah.
sudden being challenged again.
Yeah.
He had Liam pushing him. I think that sort of gave him a kick up the butt, being like, hey, come on, you've got this
Mm.
rookie like that's
Mm,
doing really well that's come in just to fill for Danny, and then Danny's back.
mm.
I mean, need to see how Danny goes next few races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
If
I
this
feel
wasn't
like
a fluke.
F1 fans, we all kind of do it. Like if
Mm.
one driver performs really well, we just jump on it and we're
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah,
excited.
we're
and we're like,
such
oh
a-
my God, he is so good. He's coming
Yeah.
back. He's this, he's that. But it's like, let's just
100% we're a
just chill.
bandwagon fan.
Yeah, let's just
sport.
like bring it down.
everyone.
We're a fan. We are such a fan, like fan bandwagon.
Fan bandwagon.
Audi or Audi?
A-E-I-O-U. Don't worry, my brain had an aneurysm before, so it's fine.
Anyway,
It was great to see.
It was good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I think that was my favorite bit of quali.
Yeah, I think so.
Danny.
Well, actually, Charles getting pole was really nice.
I was going to say, I was waiting for you to be like,
the
wait,
Ferrari
no,
fan over there.
No, but I can still appreciate when something really good is done. I don't know. I just feel a bit disappointed in Ferrari.
So apparently, Martin Brundle said Red Bull did a 1.65 second pit stop in practice.
Ooh.
I forgot to mention that.
It's not official if it's
Not
not
I
official,
know.
race.
yeah.
It's not official, but Jesus Christ.
1.65.
I can't even blink that fast.
Neither can I. Like, how
Are
do they?
you, if you're out there listening, are you also trying to blink that fast? Because that's what I'm doing right now. All right, stop blinking. Everyone back to it.
Shall we get into the race?
Let's talk about the race. Very interesting.
Ay.
Where
I
do we
say
start?
bef-
Let's just talk.
Before we start, there was
Yeah.
something that happened at the beginning. I think it was on the formation lap. And I was looking at the grandstands because obviously at, what is it? The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, I think it's called.
I tried
There's-
to pronounce it so many times and I was like,
The stands that kind of almost go over the track.
yeah.
You know, those stands that they sort of almost curve over the track. And I was thinking, gosh, hopefully no one drops. Like, imagine someone would drop something. And then 2 seconds later, they're like, Oscar seems to have a piece of paper stuck to the bottom of his car.
Oh my God.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh.
oh dear.
Just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Lucky
Flying
it
a
wasn't a
little
tequila bottle.
Yeah. An aeroplane.
Okay.
Well, Checo said that was the saddest race of his career.
So really
So
sad because that first sprint to turn one was really good. It was really exciting.
It's a
Although
long
I'm
straight
so
into turn
sorry,
one as
Charles
well.
and Carlos, but what the was that? They had so much opportunity to defend and
They did.
block Max, and Max just went straight through the middle.
Yeah. I think that I mean, I don't know what goes on in the Ferrari garage, but they should have had a better tactic.
Yeah, there should have been something better there.
It kind of seems like they were. It's times like that when you have to work as a team and not work as an individual.
You have the whole
And they
race to work as an individual driver. If you're going to stop Max Verstappen, you need to work as a team because that's not going to happen by yourself at turn 1.
Yeah.
I reckon it's almost like they forgot they were a team for a second.
I think
Yeah,
they do.
I think so. Well, I think
they do.
I think they're now being pitted against each other. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's always been like, we at Ferrari, we don't have the number 1 driver, blah, blah, blah. But it's almost like they've got that pit against them now, which is possible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I replayed that start about 10 times because I literally was like, oh.
At first, I thought it was Charles's fault. And then I was like, oh my God, no, but it was Checo diving in just like he did to not Lewis Hamilton, but kind of Lewis Hamilton in Qatar. It was like the same sort of scenario.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, then Charles had damage to his wing as well.
How did
and
he
he just
drive?
kept going.
I have a lot to say about that.
That can't be safe.
Well,
I feel like if you've got clear physical damage of something about to fall the fuck off your car, go box. Like that can't be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll get to that, but I'm sorry, but can we just circle back to Checo because it needs a bigger moment. Like
I need to talk more
Why
about
is it
this.
always your home race as well?
oh my God, the curse of the home race, unless you're Max Verstappen.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
or Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I was literally about to say just those two, and I
Yeah.
feel like they can pull it off. But anyone else, whenever it's their home race,
Because it happened
It's
to
always
Daniel
something else.
Ricciardo as
Yeah.
well on the first corner.
Yeah. it's happened to Yuki in Japan.
Happened to Yuki.
Well, it happened to Joe next year back in China. Like it's
Probably.
Logan
But do you know
Sargent, Lance Stroll, happened to all of them.
Do you know what was crazy is because Checo got a slipstream, and watching his car, I was like, it looks like a rocket next to the 3.
He got such a good start.
Right.
He got such a good start.
But he got greedy.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, he kind of said that in his interview, didn't
'Cause
he?
it's the
What did
home
he
race.
say? He was like, I saw the opportunity to take the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix.
He wanted to go for the win.
It's like, bro,
He said he wanted to win.
And the thing as well is
And he
like
saw a gap and went for it.
on that corner, you'd be lucky to get 2 cars. Like it would have already been a battle between Leclerc and Verstappen, depending on what Leclerc would have chosen to do. And then Checo was like, what about me? He just, it was like he got, what's the thing? Like he got trigger
happy.
happy.
Trigger
Yeah.
happy.
His knowing, it's like his
The spatial
emotional
awareness.
brain took over and was just like, I want to win. And his side pod was just destroyed.
Yeah, because
Well-
they tried to pit him and get him back out. But they
Yeah.
couldn't. I was like, are we going to see
Watching his
the
frustration,
Japan?
just like
Yeah. Was it Japan or
like,
Singapore?
Japan, where he
Japan,
didn't
where
go back
he-
out until
where
like
he went
halfway
back
through
out.
the race. Yeah, I did.
I was
wonder
like,
if that
I was
gonna
like,
happen.
is he going to go back out again and be like -5 laps?
I did think it was going to be like another Japan repeat. I mean, he said he knew it was going to be a risk, high reward, but unfortunately, high risk was nowhere near high
To
reward.
be honest, sometimes I feel like high risk, high reward in F1 just doesn't exist.
I just
also
think
know
there's-
at your home race.
No, and also like
your home
again,
race.
if there was 2 cars, that is high risk, high reward.
Mm.
3 cars, like the math isn't mathing. There's girl math and then there's Checo math. I don't want there to be any hate though, because we love Checo and we feel bad for him. But
Well, he's not been on the podium since the Italian Grand Prix.
And he's been on the Mexican podium
Pobrecito.
past 3
Yeah.
years in a row.
21 points in the last 5 races as well, compared to Max's 127. So,
Ouch.
how's that make you feel?
and now there's 2 points
Yeah.
between Checo and Hamilton.
Spicy.
Actually, do you know another thing? At the beginning, when they played the Mexican anthem,
Mm.
the little kids were singing.
Oh, that was cute.
I don't know why. I felt like I was going to cry. I was like, this is so beautiful.
I love
Tell
it.
me you
Also
saw
just-
Lando Norris and the
What
kid.
happened?
No.
afterwards?
my God. So
Was
this
it
kid was
after?
holding, I can't remember if it was after. I just saw the video of it. So whenever it happened, it happened. But this kid was in the crowd holding up a sign being like, Lando, I'm your biggest Mexican fan, blah, blah, blah.
It was like, it's my
And
birthday.
It's my birthday on Sunday. Can I come meet you?
Oh my God, I have goosebumps.
And so he met Lando. The quarantine got him in, and he was just crying and crying.
So
And he was just
cute.
hugging Lando, like, and Lando's just hugging him back, being like, oh my God, it's okay.
It was so funny because I looked at some of the comments and this person was like, why does Lando always laugh when people like crying in front of him? He's always
Awkward.
like,
Awkward. He doesn't know what to do.
yeah.
I'd probably do the same as well.
Oh my God.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Very, very cute. There was like I love little
Bless.
wholesome moments like
I know.
that.
It's so nice that they do that as well.
Wasn't it Checo, his last crash? Where was it? Earlier this season, and there was a kid crying, and then he like got him in.
Oh,
yes,
that's right.
yes,
that's when we were
right.
saying would it work if we cried?
Yeah.
And we decided no
Please.
because well, I was like I can't because I'm 6'2". So if I'm sitting there in the crowd crying, someone probably
And
thinks
then go home.
yeah.
I'll
Don't
flash my
even go
tits.
here. Anyway, back to the race. Pulling our
That's
heads,
so
heads back.
cute.
But talking about, should we talk about Lando?
Yes, I think we have to talk about Lando.
Lando?
Because I think he was
Steam
Everyone-
train.
everyone's driver of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Globally that watched it, and I don't think you could argue anything against that.
No.
Was it P17 to P5?
Yeah.
But that wasn't,
Dominated.
I'm pretty sure as well, before
He was hungry.
he kind of like made his way back up and then it was red flag.
Yeah.
Had a terrible restart and had to make his way back
Back
up
up.
again. And
Yeah.
It's like
He did it
not-
twice.
Yeah, so he had to overtake everyone twice.
Yeah.
Solid.
And Magnussen's crash, speaking of the red flag.
Magnussen.
Because I think he would have had a decent-ish race as well.
think
And then
so,
his
yeah.
rear suspension just decided to
It just broke.
clock it.
But you actually heard it as well. Like you
Did you hear it?
Yeah,
I couldn't hear
you
it.
could hear it on the broadcast as he's like going
What did it
round,
sound like?
and you just see this
Like a pop?
like
Yeah.
this pop, and all of a sudden he just like his car just skews and goes up.
He was
Yeah.
flying as well.
Yeah,
There was
so
a-
it
there was a
wasn't.
hu-
Yeah, it wasn't even like he was anything with steering wheel. It's his car just had a mind of its own, and just went off.
Yeah. I love that I wrote 140 miles and I'm like, Amy, we don't do miles
I was
here.
gonna say you don't know what that is.
No.
Conversion in kilometers is. It's probably something like close to double.
Double.
Is it like
double-ish
2.5 or
280?
something? I don't even know
Let's
what it is.
see.
But yeah, he went straight into that wall from it just popping.
Mm, he-
225 kilometers an hour.
225.
The
See,
whiplash.
I always like, it's like when we get into our cars and drive and we could crash at like 60 Ks and it's terrifying.
Yeah. You can get concussed.
Oh
from
my God.
it.
And the fact that they willingly get into the car knowing that they could crash at these high speeds.
His car was
Banged
fucked up.
Mm.
It
There
was,
was
fire.
completely smashed.
Oh, yeah, the little fire at the back too.
And you can tell I was I don't know if you guys saw anything afterwards. I didn't hear anything from the medical team, but I wonder if he was maybe slightly concussed from it.
probably. He
Probably.
looked pretty.
Right, he looked a bit disheveled. Like he got out,
Yeah.
he shook his hands, and then he sort of sat up, and then he got back.
Mm.
And then I was thinking,
You'd have a lot of adrenaline and shock going through you,
Yeah.
like you know, just that happening in general.
Can I just say as well? No, I have a bit of a controversial opinion.
Mm.
It's controversial because it's coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Charles and Carlos got third and fourth. I'm so happy. Fine, amazing. I kind of think it was a fluke and just really lucky timing.
Yeah.
I think had there not been the red flag, I think Lando probably would have.
I agree.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
also
Mm.
George Russell was so close to taking over Carlos Sainz. And the fact that I was looking at Charles' wing and thinking, how does this, we always talk about like a millimeter of any part on the car will change how
He
quick
was
the car
missing
goes.
his whole.
He was missing his whole wing. So I'm like, okay, does it either mean that you can do a
It's
lot
all a
more
load
with
of
less?
shit.
Or you can obviously do more than what you normally do?
Yeah.
Like, because if that's the
'Cause
case,
I would have thought with his wing coming off, he would have dropped back.
right?
But he never did.
He never did, thank God. But yeah,
I don't know.
I thought it
very
was
interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, but what I found fun was after the safety car, they all did their fastest laps, which kind of showed like how
Mm.
their engines and tires needed to be cooled down.
Yeah.
Kind of what we're saying with the high altitude is
Yeah.
because it heats up the engines more.
Yeah.
They need to get more air in, and then once they could kind of cool it down, they went even faster.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
Interesting though.
Because it was so hot. Apparently, the Lando on his pit stop, you know how normally they come in and they fly off?
Mm.
They were like, don't accelerate out too hard to try and
Mm.
cool everything down a tiny bit.
Yeah. I do love a red flag.
Me too.
I
Creates
love
for
a
some
bit of
drama.
It was Lance Stroll's birthday as well.
Yeah,
and then
happy
he goes
birthday,
out on his
DNF.
birthday. Yeah.
Started from the pit lane and DNF on his birthday.
What's new?
It's a bad day to be
I
an
know.
Aston Martin.
What's new with Aston Martin? Seriously, like
Double
that
DNF.
was just. Anyway, I mean, my favourite moment from the race was watching, I think it was around lap 8 or 9.
When
Danny-
Magnussen crashed.
No.
Oh no, that was 35.
No,
Yep.
that was around turn 8 or 9, I think it was.
Yep.
The Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton battle.
Battle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was like the good old days.
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw something like that?
I don't remember.
And it was just good. It was
feel
just
like
nostalgic. I was
Lewis-
watching it and I was like, that makes me happy.
But Lewis had some good overtakes
Oh, he said had some
today.
great.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
so weird. We can say today because it was literally this
This
morning.
morning.
It was. Yeah.
Today.
Yesterday.
Lewis
for
did-
Lovely.
Lewis did it really. I thought he did really well.
Yeah.
He would also be second driver of the day for me.
He
Yeah.
was my second driver.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's very hard to choose a non-official driver of the day because Lando was just so good.
yeah.
Well, Lando's
was
had
Lewis.
driver of the day how many times this year?
Yeah.
He'd
Proud
be
of him.
At least he's won one thing
Yeah.
because he can't get a podium.
Many a times. He's won it a few times.
Always a
Yeah.
bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of all the booing?
I hated it.
Like, I know we've
Hated it.
discussed like the fight that happened, and I don't think the fighting at all, especially segregating things
Tolerated?
like that, is it can't be
Mm.
tolerated.
Fighting, no. Booing. See, I feel like booing is also just a part of the sport in the moment.
No. Sorry.
Is that just because they were booing Charles?
No, I hate booing. I think it's
Like, I
yuck.
hate it, but at the end of the day, it's sport and people are not going to like something that happens. It's like if, football teams get a try or a goal and people boo and then you move on.
I hate
Because
booing.
I've always been indifferent to booing. Like,
Mm.
I don't really care for it, except that I understand that in elements when we've watched it here live in Australia, watching an Aussie rules football game, and you see the booing in it, so that's due to we've seen racism.
Mm.
So that's different.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, it's not okay. But like, if it's just within like good, like,
I think booing's
you know.
yuck and it's
Mm.
tacky.
Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I do
Ew.
agree. I
Ew.
do agree. It's yuck.
Especially it was so uncalled for.
was it uncalled for?
Yes, it was Checo's fault.
Was it?
Yes. And I'm not being biased.
Yeah.
I'm not being, and I felt terrible for Checo. I really wanted him to get a podium.
So did I.
What happened to the Alpine boys?
I felt like it was so uncalled for, and it was just like, leave him alone. Like, don't take it out on Charles. He's done nothing wrong.
Tell you what made me giggle.
What?
Oh, I know what you're gonna.
Oh God.
Huh?
Oh, the podium.
Oh my god, yeah, that.
What were you
also.
gonna say?
Oh my god, did you Ocon, Esty Bestie, when he was trying to get, he was going up to one of the Haases, and over the radio, he's like, "You can tell Haas I'm going to go for it, so they better be ready." And he
Gee.
never sent it.
Bless.
He never got there, and
He
I was like,
tried.
DTS are going to eat that up.
Oh my God.
They're going to make some like rival thing between Esteban
love
Ocon
that.
and the Haas drivers and like put it in some dramatic scene of Esty being like, "I'm coming for them."
No, well,
But anyway.
nothing can compare to
The sombreros.
that sombrero and podium of Checo rising from the ashes, not even the ashes, just like rising up. And he's just got this sombrero on.
He looks
and
so
just
awkward. He's like,
"Ah." Well, I was watching the podium and I was like, where even is Max?
yeah.
And then
That's
and
what
then
I
he
mean.
just like
You see
it just
him-
rises
see him?
up.
You saw him like sitting on the car, like, what is he doing? I could tell so the drivers must be like, why the fuck do we have to do this?
I'm just not expecting it to like come out that way.
Do you think they take the sombrero home?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, of course you
Yeah.
Oh my
would.
god,
Yeah.
I'd
The sombrero was the best part. It was just the rising was like, they were like, let's imagine the people sitting in the room making that decision. Let's make the winner
Rise
get
up from-
lifted from the ground.
and it has to be Checo rising from the dead because he fucking
Yeah.
died on lap 1.
Oh.
Lap 1, turn 1.
That was besides the Daniel and Lewis battle, that's probably my other favourite moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your favorite driver of the day?
Definitely Lando and Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Me too.
100%. I think it was
Yeah.
like,
Damn
pretty
it.
stock standard to understand that that's what would be happening.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for Mexico, unless
Hmm.
anyone has anything else to.
I was about to say ciao, but that's...
Ciao bella.
No, you can say ciao.
Can you?
We say ciao.
Arrivederci.
Adios. No,
What's
arrivederci is
arrivederci?
Italian. Adios. Hasta
I know it's
luego.
Italian.
Adios.
Adios.
Hasta
Adios.
luego.
But hello to Brazil.
Ooh, Brazil.
Brazil.
Na 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 na.
Sao Paulo.
Na
These are my favourite parts of the podcast. When we have a new,
Brazil. I'll do some samba. Samba.
when we have a new place, Pat does her dance. There we go. We have
Love
L
it.
segments. Pat's dance, and I need to figure something out. I don't know what mine is.
Your stats.
My
Your
stats.
stats.
Yeah, so stats. We have Brazil is 71 laps, 4.39 kilometres, and race distance, 305 kilometres. Lap record, 110, Valtteri Bottas, 2018. There we go.
There you go. That's a good one.
First Grand Prix, 1973. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. This is also
A sprint
the
weekend.
rate. Oh, fuck me, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I know. I thought we were done, but I forgot that
Is it?
Interlagos was a.
Yes.
Oh my
we
God,
have a
now I'm
sprint.
sweating.
Yep.
She's taken her jacket off.
Yep.
It's too much.
Yeah, we have a big sprint happening this weekend.
Oh, I did not realise it was a sprint weekend, and that hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Because as well, I feel like we need to talk about this, how everyone's talking about they need to reformat sprints. And that conversation.
I know there's been a lot of
Talk.
on this. And there has been like a few different options thrown out there of like what that could be. But I just don't know if they're going to change that format. I mean, just for, some clarity on what those changes could include, it's a sprint championship separate to the drivers' championship, which I actually kind of like that.
Okay.
But then I also
that.
like the opportunity that the sprint provides to add to your championship points as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think it should be separate, because then it's like a completely entire separate race.
Like a full competition.
Yeah, do it a different time. Reverse grid, so the top 10 positions inverted, or the entire grid inverted, which I think could be fun. But I think that's more of an exhibition
I feel
match.
like they should do
Yeah.
that.
Race.
I feel like they should do that, but also not tell the drivers what it's going to be each weekend.
Just like,
Oh.
boom,
Yeah.
surprise.
Just like, don't tell them something. Be like, okay, now it's going to be like top 10 inverted. Now it's whole grid inverted, and or they just do something else where it's, I don't know, Q1 becomes Q3, and it's, I don't know, some weird backwards stuff
Well,
to
one of
make
the-
it spicy.
Yeah. Well, they're also offering
Max Verstappen
extra
would never.
prize money. So
Really?
potential monetary value of so potential monetary value from sponsors for prizes for up to $1 million. So I don't know how I
Well, it's not complicated anymore.
feel. I don't think it should be a reverse. I think the reverse grid could be interesting for like a one-off, but I don't think it needs to be separate points.
You know how they're not allowed to make changes to the car? Maybe they should allow that. Because half the problem is, I feel, you have the sprint race, and then it's just what happens in sprint kind of usually reflects.
Well, then they need more practice time.
No, but
get
then
all
they
that
do
data.
the sprint race. They do like qualifying sprint race, and then if they want to make changes, they can make changes.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that could
I
be
know what you're
good.
saying. That could be
Yeah.
interesting.
That
But
could be
then that
fun.
might give too much of an advantage come race day, would be my only thinking. Anyway, well, we're back in Brazil
fun.
anyway, and Max last year came 6th, so it'll be interesting to see how he backs it up this
Yeah.
time.
This was also the race where Max defied team orders against
us more.
Checo, ignoring Red Bull's instructions to let Checo pass and take his position.
His bratty era.
Few
Yeah.
DNFs.
I think that's part of also the
Lando,
reason,
Kevin, Daniel.
some of the reason why the Mexican fans don't like Max
Yeah,
because of this
possible.
incident.
This incident. I think
This
that's where he
incident.
started really showing his fight.
So predictions:
Max.
Max for second.
What?
Someone else is winning. Mystery winner.
Do you know who does quite well? Do you know who is an honorary Brazilian?
Who?
Lewis Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Lewis Hamilton's.
I reckon
honorary
Lewis will win.
Brazilian. I think I wish.
Lewis, Max, Carlos. It's
Yeah.
going to be mine.
That's
Lewis,
nice.
Max, Lando.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I forgot about Lando.
Yeah.
Lando for the win.
I think Max, Lewis, Lando.
Hey, well, Lando said, he'll retire when he gets his
I
first
know,
win.
yeah, that's so funny. It's like, sir, no, you
Max
sense.
Lewis Lando
Don't
or
lie.
Max Lewis George.
Well, George won last year, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's had a bit of a tough time this year. So I feel like he's wanting to come back. He had a really good race in Mexico. Also, just with the sprint, maybe Oscar's winning the sprint again.
Oh yeah.
I'm
And
so done with sprints.
she likes it. She doesn't like it. She likes it. She doesn't like it.
I liked one out of the whole entire.
It's just a big
calendar.
commitment.
I reckon Danny Ricciardo's getting points again.
Oh yeah, I think he'll definitely get points.
How are you going to watch it? You got Derby Day.
She's
You got
gonna
a
get home
big
drunk.
weekend.
She's gonna watch
She's going to
it.
beat me.
Yeah.
How I am today. This is going to be you next week.
About what happened?
Yep.
Yeah, I won't have anything to say to sprint. I think okay. And you know what? I'm ruling myself out right now. I am not watching any sprint.
Do we do the wooden spoon one as well?
Yeah, Wooden Spoon, definitely Logan Sargent.
Oh,
Oh, wait, no, actually, I see him as... Nah, yeah, Wooden Spoon. He's not getting a DNF.
I don't know why, and I don't like this, but I just thought Yuki would get a DNF. I hope not.
Max Dana, please
Make
it interesting.
I feel
I
like
don't
just
know.
it'd make it interesting, and then you'd be like, yeah, but it's not even really that fair. Like, he didn't
Yeah.
even compete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
All right. A special shout out to our lovely Veloce.
Yes, we're excited to be part of the Veloce team. So,
Yeah.
yes.
We're
Watch
part
that
of the family.
space.
And thank you to all the followers. I guess, like, we wouldn't be signing with them if it wasn't
Oh,
for
I have a
everyone.
special shout out as well.
Oh,
I told you this before, Elle, but
Oh,
Amy,
yeah.
one of my friends who I used to go to school with,
mm-hmm.
she's in the year below me. She messaged me. She lives in the UK, and she was like, "Just wanted to let you know that I was sitting with a group of my friends, UK-based friends, British friends, and they listen to your podcast and they love
Oh
it."
my God.
I was like, "Ah!" So hello, Jackie's friends.
Oh my God,
Love to hear it.
hi.
Yeah, great to hear.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's such a weird thing, like all the way on the other side of the world.
it's not just my family.
I know. It's my family listening to it on repeat.
Yeah.
Croatia. They're like, I don't understand this, but they're listening through it through Google Translate. It happens, but I think that's all we have time for.
I think so.
I'm tired. Now I'm going to go
Okay.
to bed.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Adios.
I was like, ciao. Adios, amigos.
Cielito lindo.
Taco.
Oh, shit.